Artificial intelligence is moving faster than any government has ever had to move. It's rewriting medicine, law, finance, and warfare. Sometimes all at once. And while most of the world is still figuring out what to do about it, one place has already written the rulebook. Today, we're looking at the European Union and its sweeping attempt to put guardrails on one of the most powerful technologies ever built. For decades, the European Union has made a name for itself as the world's most ambitious regulator. It shaped global data privacy with the GDPR. It took on big tech with antitrust action. And now, as artificial intelligence reshapes everything from healthcare to hiring, the EU has done it again. This time with a law that could define how the world governs AI. In April 2021, the European Commission put forward a draft regulation on artificial intelligence, the first of its kind from a major global power. After nearly 3 years of debate, thousands of amendments, and late-night negotiating sessions, the EU AI Act was formally adopted in May 2024 and published into law that July. At its core, the law takes a risk-based approach. It divides AI systems into 4 tiers. Systems posing minimal risk, like spam filters or basic chatbots. These face almost no restrictions, but move up the ladder and the rules tighten considerably. At the top sits unacceptable risk, AI uses that are outright banned. Things like social scoring systems used by governments, real-time biometric surveillance in public spaces, and AI that manipulates people through subliminal techniques. These prohibitions took effect in February 2025. The law doesn't arrive all at once. It's phased in gradually, by design. By August 2025, rules for so-called general-purpose AI models, the large-scale systems behind tools like chatbots and image generators, came into force. Companies releasing these models in Europe now face documentation, transparency, and safety requirements. The next big wave was supposed to hit in August 2026, when obligations for high-risk AI systems would kick in. We're talking about AI used in hiring, education, credit scoring, border management, and critical infrastructure. The kind of AI that, if it gets it wrong, can ruin lives. But just days ago, on May the 7th, 2026, EU legislators struck a last-minute deal to push that deadline back. The so-called Digital Omnibus on AI, agreed after marathon trilogue negotiations, delays most high-risk obligations until December 2027 and some until 2028. Lawmakers say the change was needed to give businesses more time to comply. Critics say it's a gift to industry at the expense of accountability. The EU AI Office, a new body set up within the European Commission, is now the nerve centre for enforcement, particularly around powerful general-purpose AI models. Every EU member state is also required to stand up its own national AI regulatory sandbox by August 2026, providing controlled environments where companies can test AI systems before bringing them to market. Civil society groups are watching closely. While many welcome the framework, they argue the recent delays water down protections for people most at risk from biased or harmful AI, in hiring algorithms, asylum decisions, and law enforcement tools. The battle over how to govern artificial intelligence is just getting started. The EU has staked out the most ambitious position of any major power, but ambition on paper and enforcement in practice are very different things. How Europe navigates that gap over the next few years may well shape the global rules of the road for AI for decades to come. The EU AI Act, years in the making and still a work in progress. But like it or not, it's the most serious attempt yet to bring one of the most powerful technologies in human history under democratic control.
There is no U.S. federal AI law, no comprehensive statute, no risk tiers, no banned use cases written into legislation. When President Biden tried to move towards structured AI oversight with a sweeping executive order in 2023, His successor reversed it on day one in office, January 20th, 2025. The Trump administration's philosophy is clear. America needs to win the AI race, and regulation is a speed bump. A January 2025 executive order set the tone, removing what it called, quote, barriers to American leadership. A follow-up order in December 2025 went further, directing the Justice Department to set up an AI litigation task force, not to protect people from AI, but to challenge state laws that the federal government considers too restrictive. With Washington stepping back, states have rushed to fill the vacuum. Over 1,000 AI-related bills were introduced across U.S. states in 2025 alone. California, Texas, Illinois, and Colorado have all enacted or are rolling out significant AI laws in 2026, covering everything from algorithmic discrimination to deepfake disclosures. But the federal government is fighting back. The White House's March 2026 National Policy Framework called on Congress to preempt state AI laws it deems unduly burdensome, setting up a federal versus state showdown that could end up in the courts for years. Maybe that's the wrong question, because the honest answer is probably both. The world doesn't tend to settle on one rulebook. It borrows from the ones that work. GDPR spread because it set a standard people trusted. American platforms spread because they built things people wanted. AI governance will likely follow the same pattern: messy, contested, and slowly improving. What's different this time is the speed. AI isn't waiting for governments to catch up. It's already inside our hospitals, our courtrooms, our hiring processes. The question isn't whether to regulate it. It's whether we can do it well enough and fast enough to make sure the benefits reach everyone. The EU has a law. The US has a fight. And the rest of the world is watching both very closely. That's not a crisis. That's a conversation worth having.
Thanks for visiting the FATUX Network YouTube channel. For more, visit fatuxnetwork.com.